Hi everyone, Lolly here. Welcome to my channel and welcome to this month's slow stitch shenanigans. This is a project that I'm doing with my friend Alia, and we are making little slow stitch books, and at the end of the year we're going to trade books. So we'd love it if you guys wanted to follow our prompts and join in with us each month. They're just simple little prompts because we're just learning slow stitch here. So nothing big and nothing stressful. So this is the little books we're making. It is cut 4 by 6 so that I have a little bit of a spine here. And this month's prompt was to use like a found textiles like napkins, tea towels, thrifted fabric. I have already done this video and I lost it because I did it way back in the beginning of February before I even posted February's page. So in that video, I wanted to tell you what I found, and what I've used for this project is when I'm at the bins, I find a lot of these little sewing kits. These are from the 90s, most of them that I find. Some of them I find like this, and they're in really nice shape. Everything's still in there. Some of them I find they're not. Sometimes it's just the page here. You know, if you've been to the bins, you know everything's just thrown in piles and it's just the leftovers of everything. But I pick them up all of the time because a lot of times either the fabric or the thread is still inside, and I'm always fascinated that this thread has been in here since 1990 something. And so the fabric that I chose to use for March was one of those kits, and it was like a wall hanging, early 1990s. I've already packed away the page because I put it in my paper pile to use the instruction part, or this part right here has instructions on it, but I put that away to use in a junk journal or something later. So, but these are the fabrics that were in there. I have cut it because I've already made my page, but it was like a welcome sign or something like that. You would put in a hoop and hang it, and so that's what that was. And it also had its thread. Let me see if I can find it. And so I'm using only the fabric that was in there and only the thread that was in the kit. So it was mostly these colors, and I have some of the thread left. So these were some of the colors here, and there was a different green, couple of different types of green, that kind of thing. So anyway, long story short is I was so excited to get to use this because the prompt for March came up just at the right time that I had this little package. So I took it apart, took the thread out. If the package isn't complete, then I will take the thread out and the fabric and I'll use them for something else. And that was just what I did with this one. So pretty fabric. It looks almost 80s to me, but I guess it was, I think the package said 1990 on it. But really nice fabrics on the inside of them. So let me show you what I created. If you watch Susan Hiles Creates, she does slow stitching, and I tell her that I always say, what would Susan do? Because Susan says, cut up your doilies, and I have a hard time with that, right? So, but she's right. If you don't do something and you don't give them a second life, these I get from the bins all of the time, and they just go to landfill after that. So I sent her an email and I said, I finally did it. I finally cut up a doily. So, and this was in one of my haul videos that I got at the bins, but I cut out the little flowers here and the leaves, and I used those on March's page. So, and I also, I used it on my little doll. Let me see. She was in one of my other videos, and I think I'm finished with her, but I put the little doily flowers there on her as well. So I just gave her string hair after all, but that's my little side project. Just for fun, I've been working on her. So, all right, to my project. So this is going to be my cover that I'm not going to do until the end because I don't know yet. I don't know the theme or the vibe of the book yet. And so I'm going to do that in the end before I trade with Alia. And again, in December, we're going to trade books, which is really fun. And I've laughed before because I tell her, if you see a page you don't like, just tell me if you don't want that page in your book. But we're never going to do that to each other. And we always love what the other one does. So, but I think it's so fun that while she's creating every month, I get to see what I'm going to get in the end, right? And so, and she does as well. So this was my January page. And these were just, I love this fabric here. I try to use it wherever I can. I don't have too much of it left, but I love it. And so I stitched on there. Just free stitching, just, it has little birdhouses in here. I'm still trying to add to it to fill in more of like the little tiny leaves, just to put some green stitches in there. And I did go back later and add some more stitches right here. So I think that I'll go through the book every now and then when I'm doing one page and I learn something new, or I think that it needs something else, then I may add to the pages. And here you can see my messy work on the back. My mom would have a fit if she could see this, because her stitches normally look almost the same as the front, but I'm just can't do that. So this was February's page, and we had to use an unusual, January was just collage. So that's what I did, collage different fabrics on here. February was to use an unusual kind of textile or a fabric. And these were stuffed little pillow hearts from the Dollar Tree. And I took it apart, took the stuffing out, and just used the heart for my unusual or different kind of fabric for February. And so March is to use the found or thrifted fabric. And so here's March's page, and this is with the fabric from that sewing kit that I found and from this doily. So there's the pink in the background, and then I hand stitched the vine on here, and then I put the little French knots on it. Let's see if I can get where you guys can see these are hand stitched leaves here. This vine up here I stitched and then put the French knots on there, and then I went back, and when I got the nerve to cut up the doily, I took the flowers and I kind of scrunched them up a little bit so they weren't just flat, and then stitched them on the vine. And then the doily has these leaves, so I cut those out, put them on here, and then just put a couple of stitches over the top. So then I decided I wanted to add beads, because I've been cleaning up my craft room and I found these little tiny pink beads. And so I thought that would be pretty to kind of give them a little extra, I don't know, just a little extra something. So I put those on there and added in each of the flowers, and then just randomly like a little pink bead here and there to kind of zhuzh it up a little bit. And then yesterday I was just sitting there at my desk, and I had cut for my doll, I made her a little collar, and it made this kind of curve part right here. And so I didn't want it to be part of the flower, but I wanted to add it. So I just stitched that on the side there. So that's it. That's my page for March using a thrifted or found fabric. And that was my sewing kit. I think it said 1997 if I remember the packaging. I don't know where that video went, but oh my gosh, that's so frustrating. But I showed you the whole packet and everything that was in it. But anyway, that's what it was. It was just a sewing kit. And I find them often. So that's why my embroidery thread collection is so big, because I always pick those up and they normally have the thread in them. So, but this was my March page. So we've done January, February, and March already. I can't even believe it. It just goes by so fast. But this one, I really like the lighter colors, which is completely different for me to do. And so I think that's the fun part about this, is using fabric, because if it was a tag or a ATC or something like that, of course I would be using the dark moody colors. But with fabric, I love the bright colors of fabric. I love to quilt, so when there's bright colors, I can put all together a happy camper. So you guys go over to Alia's channel and see what she's done. I can't wait. So we don't show each other our projects before we do them, or before we post them. I'm sorry, we don't share with each other on any of our collaborations, so that we're all surprised at the same time you guys are. So I'm anxious to see what March looks like. And I don't know what I'm going to do for April. For this one, I had it figured out really quick, and I started sewing that even before my February video. So April, I don't know. What's the saying? April showers brings May flowers. Maybe something related to that. I'm not sure, but I'm going to use buttons to bind it. So I'm leaving that little bit here so I can put those on there, and then she can still flip through the book like that. So, right, here we go. There's my 3 months. You guys stitch along with us. Let me see what next month is. I think it is April says add a small pocket holding something personal. So that kind of helps prompt me on what the theme will be for April. So I have to think on that. But anyway, the prompts are down in the description. They're simple, just for fun while we're learning kind of prompts. So feel free to join us and post your video. We just do this on the 15th of every month. We put the videos for the slow stitch shenanigans. So you can do that too and give us a tag so we can go over and see what you've done. You don't have to make a book. That's just what we decided would be a fun project and to be able to trade in the end. And it was a small enough canvas that we could get the projects done because, you know, we have a few other collaborations also. And so anyway, it was a small enough project to be able to complete in a month. So, all right. Okay, guys, hope you liked my page, and I will see you over at Alia's channel. Let's go see what she did. Bye.